it's nice to be able to drive it again. But we have a problem. I'll explain that in a little bit. Alright, so this thing is making power like it never has before. It's extremely angry. We're going to come to a stop for just a split second. I'm not even going to pull a regular hole shot. I'm just going to start to go and then get into it. Alright, so the problem I'm having is when we built this motor, we were in a hurry. We wanted to get the motor in so we can get our Christmas tree and get the Christmas parade, because this truck's been in the Christmas parade for years. Really wanted to make sure we got it in there again, and I did not get a lot of time to get a lot of miles on the engine to break it in properly, and the normal hour-long parade ended up taking over 2 hours, and I think idling that car for over 2 hours on a fresh set of rings didn't do it any favors. So one of the things we first had was I had a leak at the balancer, and that balancer seal I thought was probably because the balancer had a little step in it. I reused the balancer, so I ordered a new balancer, reinstalled that, but I'm getting a ton of blow-by. Right now it doesn't seem so bad. We were driving it kind of hard, and I'm hoping that maybe the brakes will take a set. We only have maybe 100 miles on it since the rebuild, but so I got on a couple times, and it's rather than being easy on it. Yesterday I had it out, took it nice and easy, and it was fogging for mosquitoes terrible. It was embarrassing. Even with the new balancer, it's still getting past the harmonic balancer seal and dripping oil at a pretty good rate. So I don't know if we're burning it quicker than we're dripping it, or dripping it quicker than we're burning it. But today, this little bit we just took it out doesn't seem to be doing nearly as bad as it was yesterday. Maybe getting on it hard to seat those rings. But I have a feeling we're probably going to end up having to replace this engine again. So now I'm stuck. Do I build another engine, or do I just buy a crate engine? I'm out of small blocks. I have just big blocks. This car's not designed to house a big block. It's not enough room between the radiator and the engine. But I'll show you where it's leaking. You can see right that puddle right there, dripping right out of the balancer. And if I bring the RPMs up, go away if the ring seats. So what I think is happening is I think that enough compression is getting past the rings that is pressurizing the crankcase, and I can't evacuate the pressure using the regular PCV valve or even the valve cover vent. So I know I got on it one time and it pops the dipstick out, so it's building pressure down there, and so it's going to find its way out, whether it's through the PCV valve system, and if that can't flow enough, it's going to push past the easiest seal to get past, and apparently that's my harmonic balancer seal. So I guess I'm going to keep driving it. I'm kind of embarrassed to drive it if it's smoking, but today it's not smoking. I'll start up and we'll film it from the back and see if it's blowing any smoke. See how foggy it is just from backing the truck up in here. In a little bit they were running it, so it's burning a lot of oil. I don't know, I don't think they're going to seat it all. So I think the motor is a 40 over 400. So we just honed it and took a chance on it. So I guess we should have probably just replaced it when we did, but you know, we try to do things on a budget here, and sometimes when you try to save $5 it ends up costing you 10. So I think what we're going to end up doing is put our feelers out and see if we can find maybe a 3D3 bottom end, and I can use my heads and cam and intake and stuff and just move it over, take my good stuff and move it over on there. And then that 400 block is probably make a good drag block if somebody wants to go 60 with it. But it's a 4-bolt main 72 block. They're supposed to be a little thicker, but I don't know. It is what it is. So sometimes, I guess the reason I'm making this video is I want to let you guys know that sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. And it's all part of the game. Even though it can cost you extra money and stuff, we got to remember we still like this as a hobby, and we're gonna fix it. We'll get it going. That little truck's been an awesome truck. It's kind of like an extension of our family, right, Liberty? I don't think that we could have it not working, and that's what's getting me down so bad about it, is that it's that's the truck, man, and that thing is always out there and always doing stuff, and even when it's smoking, it'll still take you where you want to go and get you home. It just doesn't do it like I like it to, and having it smoking that bad is kind of embarrassing to me. And but it is what it is. So we're gonna probably hunt around for an engine, and if I can pick up a bottom end somewhere, then cool. I don't want to have to wait all season, so we're gonna have to do something to get it going again, because we can swap that in a day, so that's not a problem there. But we'll get back on it. But I just want to let you know it's not all sunshine and roses all the time. And as a matter of fact, it's raining right now, so it's kind of fitting. I'm going to show you why we can't do a power braking burnout on this truck, but it's still a burnout machine. If we try to power brake it, with the Corvette suspension that's in it, it squats, right? So when it squats down hard enough where the tire actually hits the bed under here, and we'll show you. Look at the tire rubber that's built up on it. To polish the paint right off, and so it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like a external trans brake, I guess. You know, you power brake it and it clamps the bed to the tire and holds the truck in place. With the old engine and the poor transmission that was in it, you could not power brake it. Now it will, but it doesn't look like it's making the power that it does, and we'll show you in this clip that's coming up next. So that's what it does. You can see in that video how it squished right down. That tire clamped the bed clamps the tire right to the ground. It makes it hard to do a burnout with it. But as soon as you let off the brake, the thing takes off like a rocket and goes pretty good. So it's really fun to do. You know, if you're just launching the car, not power braking it to do a burnout, it's a monster, and I love it. But we got that problem. So we'll see how we solve it.